ईर्षभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, we'll start with recording of Maharaj's prayer.
Krishna Katha. So now Maharaj Parikshit is saying, I accept everything that you've said. And is cleansing my consciousness, prepare for that 7-day away event where death will come. So now he's getting the opportunity to ask anything he likes about Krishna. And he's about to die. He's asking about creation. So it's significant. And he has Shukadeva Goswami, the most qualified, and he knows it, the most qualified person on the planet. As far as even Vyasa is concerned, who was his father and teacher, Shukadeva Goswami is more qualified. Even Narada's in the audience, the spiritual master of Vyasadeva. Shukadeva Goswami is the most qualified, and what's he want to hear about? What to hear about what you don't want to hear about? Oh no. It's too difficult. Let's go to the fun stuff. But what's important, because he already knows, in principle, Prabhupada said it twice, said it 3 times backwards, forwards, he already knows in principle Krishna is the source. So it's not, is Krishna the source? He knows. And more than that, because he's Maharaj Parikshit, he knows even, how. So what he's asking for more than how is, he's asking for the realization. And he knows that Shukadeva Goswami can impart that realization. Not just information, but realization. That's what he wants. He wants to realize Krishna's presence. How, even now, how it's all happening. Imagine if one could have that realization. That kind of realization is not information-based. Like Acharya Van Vijanayan, the Vedic aphorism is there, and Prabhupada would speak about it, the spiritual master. One who has spiritual master is expected to know everything. So, it's not like walking encyclopedia, unless you're Bhaktisiddhanta. It's how many windows are there in the Empire State Building? Like trivia questions. How many grains of sand are there in the Sahara Desert? Not trivia questions, but essence questions. That which one needs to know in order to return to the spiritual world. And not only information, but having that firmly in one's heart. And then what steps to take to get to that destination. Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupiyanti te. Spiritual master is expected to know that. And then the inquiry is to know that which the spiritual master has. And then that spiritual master can lead the disciple to that destination. provided the submission and the right spirit is there. So, if that's the case, why then this discussion about creation, and not who, but how does the creation take place? How is the connection between the personality of Godhead and things? Because if we don't understand the connection between the personality of Godhead and things, then we'll have another understanding about the connection of things with disconnected from the personality of Godhead. And that's called Maya. Later on in this canto, in the Chaturshloki verses of chapter 9 of this canto, Maya is defined. It's one of the 4 verses, one of the 4 essential verses, is what's Maya. And Maya is seeing things as having value and existence apart from their source of emanation. That's Maya. And then there's varieties of Maya, like it's mine, or it's ours, or it's yours, or trying to make it ours, or I don't like the way it is, let's make it different, and that's all Maya. As if it belongs, it's up for grabs. It doesn't belong to anybody, and so we want to make it ours, and if we want to make it ours, it's got to be how we like it. And then of course somebody else likes it a different way, and then we fight over how we're going to like it, and how it's going to be. It's all Maya. It's Krishna's energy. So to be really clear how it's Krishna's energy and working under his direction, how is he doing it? It's not a technology question. Like, any of you that have some professional field, how does cell phone technology work? It's not like he's asking that. How do you put a satellite out, and what's on the satellite so you can bounce the beam and it comes back, and it's not like a technology question. It's under his control. How is it remaining under his control? How is it happening? How is he in control of that which appears to be separate from him? How is that connection established? He wants to know. So that when going through this field of the material energy, you see Krishna there. You see the Krishna connection, at least. And by the spirit of love, one can see Krishna, but at least see the Krishna connection. So it's not up for grabs. The whole notion of fruitive work, karma, fruitive work, yes, it's up for grabs. I work, I get some fruit, and it's mine. And Krishna just disappears. Krishna disappears because of that fruitive intention. But fruitive intention is dissolved if we understand the connection that Krishna has, whether we're acting on something or not acting on something. The Krishna connection is there. And so included when we're acting on something, the Krishna connection is there. We're just one part of that whole system of what Krishna has created. And if one is, instead of one's not an animal, that is to say, one is human, where that is, one is under the regulations of the codes of Scripture, then it becomes easier to have that realization. And it certainly becomes, one acts appropriately according to theistic conduct in different situations. Because of one's submission, the active principle is submission to the Supreme. The essence is not the particulars. You do this and don't do that, and that's not the essence. The essence is the submission to the Supreme. And therefore we do this and don't do that. It's not just moral codes, or rituals, or beliefs. That's what religion is thought of. Commonly when they teach a world religion class or something like that in school, college, it focuses on one of those three things. Principally it focuses on rituals. You know, the Buddhists have these rituals, and the Hindus have those rituals, and Islamic people have those rituals, and that's what their differences are. Ritual-based. Or it may go to what their beliefs are. Some believe this, some believe that, some believe the other thing. And that's what the religion is. It's gross or subtle externals, and it's not essence. Lord Chaitanya objected like that. We had a little discussion yesterday at Kalash's home about what this drama tonight of Chand Kazi. Lord Chaitanya and Chand Kazi had a little religion conference on what is religion. Interfaith discussion. And what is religion? And because Chand Kazi had responded to Lord Chaitanya when Lord Chaitanya said, "Why did you stop this chanting of God's holy name?" He said, "Well, you're converting so many people from Islam to Hindu, and I'd be in big trouble with the king." Well, wait a minute. What is this conversion from this to that? Religion is not this practice, that practice, or this belief, that belief. Religion is because people can change beliefs all the time, but there's something unchanging. That which dharma means, that which sustains. And what is that which is sustaining and unchanging in the living being? That's the dharma of the living being. Like water is its liquidity, or fire is its heat and light. What's the essence of the living being? It's service. And in its pure form, service to God. So that which brings out love and service to God, that's what real religion is. So my dear Kazi, if people are chanting God's name, and as a result, loving service to God awakens, why are you stopping that? According to Advaita Acharya in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Chaitanya offered him we mentioned this yesterday, Lord Chaitanya offered him a benediction when Ramai Pandit came to bring him to Srivasa's home. Lord Chaitanya asked for a benediction. Take a benediction, Advaita. Advaita said, "I don't need any benediction. You have given me the benediction of your association. You have come. That's all I need." "No, I want you to take a benediction. Take a benediction." So he said, "When you distribute devotional service, don't discriminate. Give it to anyone and everyone." Then he listed, the sinners and the lechas and Shudras and this group and that group, and don't discriminate. It should be for everybody. And then he said, "But those who stop or try to stop, interfere with your giving of devotional service, let them burn in hell. But even the avanas, they should be given love of God, devotional service opportunity." That is my benediction. Lord Chaitanya's reply, "So it shall be done. You have called me here, and now you're giving me my instruction how I should do. It shall be done." Kali Yuga becomes so twisted and distorted and ugly that even in the name of serving Krishna, or something like that, persons interfere with, don't consciously, deliberately, purposefully interfere with devotional service of others. Big problem. So, the question that Maharaj Parikshit is asking is important, that the topic is so important that it's covered not only in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and some parts of the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavatam, 2nd canto of the Bhagavatam, even more elaborately in the 3rd canto of the Bhagavatam, and several places. Extensive discussion about creation, so that we can have a clear understanding of the connection of the personality of Godhead with that field of the energy that we're working through. It's a belief that, and religion is more than a belief, Lord Chaitanya expressed. It's a belief, and one can accept it. Everything comes from God. God creates everything. Say the reverse. Like, matak paratram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. Mahi sarvamidam protam sutre madiganaya. Everything, there's no truth higher than me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Okay. Can I have that realization, please? That's what Maharaj Parikshit is asking. Can you, Shukadeva Goswami? I want to experience that. Moment to moment. And he's not in his role as king anymore, and in his duties of life, he's become matured. He has a son, Janamejaya, who is of age enough to become the successor king. He's a matured stage of life. His devotion, even before he was born, was very dramatic. What to speak of throughout his life, and hearing all the time about his grandparents, the Pandavas, and Krishna. So, where was his Krishna consciousness? It was already at the stage. Prabhupada describes that Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit were on the same platform. Although one was a householder, one was hearing, and the other was a renunciate, and one was speaking, on the same platform of Krishna consciousness. And still he's asking, can you... I want to experience this, how it is happening, how it is so, moment to moment. Connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there's details. Like this chart back here. It's really fascinating. I remember once Prabhupada describing, it just struck me, and I didn't go through the math the rest of the way, but the Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. And then you add another 432,000 years, and that's the duration of Dwapara Yuga. Another 432,000 years, and that's the duration of Treta Yuga. Another 432,000 years, and that's the duration of Satya Yuga. You add them up, and it's times 10. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 10. So it's just like multiples. It's real easy. And that's one Yuga cycle times 100. And then so then you get this big number. 311, so where do they get that then? So it's just multiples, just like algorithms, like math. It's just, it's natural that it's going to have some pattern to it. And it just happened. It's all very systematic. And so we don't have to create the universe. And Shukadeva Goswami doesn't either. Brahma does. 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 Brahma does And he discusses the same subject matter again in the second canto, and then again in the third canto, in increasing detail. And then Lord Kapila discusses it again in the third canto. All right, it's important. And it's not like, a math and science IQ test or something. It's not that kind of thing. It's how wonderful is the Lord, even if that much we can understand. Whatever little piece of it becomes clear. How amazing. There was a Nobel Prize-winning scientist from either Berkeley or Stanford. Forget his name. Who the Bhaktivedanta Institute invited, because they had a relationship with him, to take a little sabbatical, go to Juhu, and study Kapila Sankhya philosophy. And with the request or the assignment was, see if there's anything in it that modern science holds factual information that would be in conflict with Sankhya philosophy. The scientific language is it falsifiable? It's not, prove that it's true, or even something that appears in science, it doesn't prove it wrong, but it's hard to support such a picture of the world or of nature, of matter, if there's some very hard empiric fact known by scientists through their research. I should remember his name. And after he
Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions from anyone? Share Premati ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's a very, very nice, deep lecture. And the question that Maharaj Parikshit is asking about the creation, Maharaj explained that it is not about the technology part that he is inquiring or the information part, but it's rather the realization part. So that's very nice. Such a highly qualified Maharaj asking such a highly qualified person, Shukadev Goswami. And in the company of Shukadev Goswami, we have even Narad Muni, who is the spiritual master of Shukadev Goswami's father, Vasudev. So these are so very high elevated topics, and it's very nice to hear. Also, Maharaj, the way he explained Maya, that being up for grabs for things, that was also very nice. It's very beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Others, like anybody is having any comment or question? Yeah, Eagle Krishna Prabhu, do you have anything to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji.
A couple of points, Prabhu. One is Maharaj nicely explained about spiritual master knows everything, and so he gives the example of in the United States, New York, something that if you know everything about that, that's not the expectation, or that is not the understanding that he knows everything. So spiritual master knows everything. That means that he is perfect in his understanding and loving to Krishna, and he would actually instruct his disciple in that way, not about the information, everything in this material world, and that is not required as well. So this is sometimes we may expect that spiritual master may know everything about this material world and everything, but that's not the understanding that one should have. That Maharaj clarified that very important point for the disciples to understand that, and not to have some not to have understanding that he knows everything in relation to that the job or the technologies or everything in this material world, but he's perfect in his love to his submission to Lord Sri Krishna and his spiritual master. The other point Maharaj mentioned about Chand Kaji and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that the essence, the belief may change, but dharma will not change. And that is the most important thing that Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva Dharman Pariteja Maham Ekam Sharanam. Lord Krishna is expecting the submission, that surrender. And that is what, by the mercy of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj, that in a disciplic succession, that we are getting this the understanding that the real submission is to surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. That the other things could be here, and that the belief may change over the period of time. But most important aspect of our devotional service, which is ador bhakti radoksaje ahitukiya pratihata, the undeviated, unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional, unallied devotional service. And that is what Prabhupada has taught all of us, that, and that is the goal that one should be striving for. So very wonderful, Prabhu. And that is what when we hear from a sadhu, that this is what actually we get to know, not about that how to get job in material world, how to earn money, but they teach us that how to submit, how to surrender to unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing it nicely. Kumarika Mataji, do you have anything to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I liked all the points that they shared. And beyond that, why is Parikshit Maharaj asking for realization to Sukadeva Goswami? So it is through the Acharya that you get realization. Realization is nothing that it is going to come to you if you are doing your own efforts. It is through the spiritual master that we cannot understand Krishna. So if we have implicit faith in Krishna and implicit faith on the spiritual master, then everything is understood by us. That is that Upanishad statement, Yashadeve Parabhaktir, Yatadeve Tata Guru, Tasyete Katitam Hiyatah Prakashante Mahatmana. So to hear from the spiritual master is very, very essential. We may be hearing from other people also, but then we don't have a connection with them. So it may not move our heart. If we are surrendering to Krishna, before that we have to surrender to the spiritual master. So the more we surrender and we hear, then we will get according to our faith in the spiritual master, then we will get the realization. That is what I wanted to share. He said
Very
it
nice, Mataji.
short way, but then that is meant.
Very nice, Mataji. That's true. Thank you.
Prabhu, one question here actually. So when Advaita, I think Advaita So he's asking now, so give devotional service without discrimination, but where one is not practicing or stopping, we should not approach uh, those kind of persons, or how is it like? Even our 10 offenses also it is there, like to instruct faithless persons. So it is related to that, Prabhu. How can we understand this?
Hare Krishna, like anybody provide response for Ashok Prabhu's question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Ashok Prabhu,
Yes, Mataji.
please state your question.
Yes, Mataji, that when Advait Prabhu, I think, he was asking the benediction. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking benediction, you have to take some benediction. Then he was asking that give the devotional service to everyone without any discrimination. So, but don't give to who are not following or practicing something he was saying.
No. He didn't say that. He said that don't give it to people who are stopping your giving of devotional service, who are blocking that distribution of mercy. So such people, let them rot in hell. That is what was told. So it
Okay.
is not that following Prabhu. He said that one who is actively, even in the garb of being a Vaishnava, if they are stopping other people, Maharaj was telling, see, even in the garb of Vaishnava, some people try to block the advancement or the devotional service of others, which is very, very sorry state, because Lord has said, so be it. We should not block the distribution of the mercy to others. That is the thing which he emphasized, Prabhu.
Oh, okay, Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Kumarika Mataji, I have a question. This is Raghuraman.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, see, a lot of people in this group have taken Dikshe. You have a guru, you have a acharya, and then you have a lineage and, alignment. Right? At least people like me, we are all very new to this entire, I would say, the journey of spirituality, as well as, don't have a official guru, or, we've not taken Dikshe, right? I mean, how do you even know whom to align to? If let's say there are certain things you're not able to, follow. Uh, I mean, Maharaj, when he was taking some classes, some of them, were looking, very dry, at least for me. So, how do you first of all identify guru whom you can align to? Secondly, if we don't have a guru, how do you then essentially go about this entire journey, Mataji?
Prabhu, the first thing to understand is Guru is required in our lives. If we want to really seriously take up this path of Krishna consciousness, surrendering unto Krishna is not possible without the mercy of the Guru. So then, how to go about it? Then we study. Then for the time being, you can be connected to, you will be getting more and more connected to Srila Prabhupada. He is the Paramaguru. And he is common to all the other disciples. So everybody will be talking his message only. So you try to get connected to Prabhupada through his books and through his lectures also. At the same time, you will be seeing the gurus. So unless and until, if you want to understand, say, His Holiness Rompada Swami Maharaj, it is better to see him personally whenever he is visiting India and you are in a position to be with him. Take his association and see how he is, and then you will learn more. The first time when you hear the accent, and sometimes, as you said, the subject may not be very understandable because we don't know the foundational principles yet. So, but then we keep on searching for the Guru, and if you pray very sincerely, with sincerity, then there is a statement in scripture saying that Krishna shows the Guru and Guru shows Krishna. So you just pray for the mercy of Krishna. Please show me my Guru, whoever will be to whom my heart will be drawn and I will be able to surrender to. So, meanwhile, you can listen to, instead of just listening to lectures, it is better to take association and observe yourself. And wherever you get that instinct from inside that yes, you are drawn to some particular person, then you can take him as your Guru. That is as far as I know, Prabhu. But there are senior people other than me, you can ask them also. It's because it's a very, very vital and important question that you have asked.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kumarika Mataji. I think this is very important question. And there are many devotees maybe in this group and outside also. So if Shamkunda Prabhu is there, he's such a fantastic person who can understand very deeply and nicely. And this could be a resource for devotees who are preaching. And also because this question may arise today, tomorrow, and it will keep coming, that how to accept, understand that and who is our spiritual master and how to surrender him. So Shankun Prabhu, maybe it's already late, but sometimes maybe we can take one particular session and maybe half an hour or 15-20 minutes. If you are there, please enlighten on this very important, as Mata said, very important topic. Hare Krishna. Shankun Prabhu, are you there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think he's not there, Prabhu. I don't see Vinodini Mataji or Shamkund Prabhu in the group.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe we'll just table it for some other day if he's once he comes online. Okay.
I will try to convey, Prabhu, the same
Okay.
thing.
I'll also speak to him quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Any other last comments from anyone? A question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I just have a question. How old was Maharaj Parikshit when he was given just 7 days of time to live, if anyone knows? Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Age is not given.
I think, as for my knowledge, like I have not seen anywhere mentioned as a particular age. Any other devotees? Like,
Yoga.
Hare Krishna. Anybody knows that Maharaj Parikshit age? Okay. Sharpali Mataji, even I think when we search, like, I don't think so anywhere it is mentioned on the age aspect of it, and more probably like it was there into the curse prospect of it and is left.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, it's 7:10. If no other comments, like we are good to close for today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. This is a reminder for Ekadashi. Today is Ekadashi. And Parana time tomorrow is 6:35 a.m. to 9:05 a.m. His Holiness Rampasam Maharaj ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.